Lisa Tertsch, you are 2025 world champion. Came down here, the look on your face was quite special, I've got to say. What? It was the thought process behind the exhale and the eye roll and the...
I'm not sure I had much of a thought process there. I was just quite overwhelmed and couldn't believe it, but I had the tape in my hand, so it was real.
What is it about grand finals, eh? I mean, they just always seem to throw up so many sub-stories.
Yes, I agree. There's always something special happening. Sometimes I was at the receiving end of the bad things, and this time I was on the good end, so yeah, it was quite special.
But even knowing that, I suppose, even knowing that it is so unpredictable, I guess coming in and knowing that so many things needed to happen for you to win leaves it like a weirdly untouchable thing, does it? The title.
I wasn't really thinking about the title, to be honest. Right. I was more going for the podium. I was thinking one podium, maybe in the race a podium, overall a podium. That was kind of my thought process of like, okay, that felt realistic. Mm-hmm. Because that was something I felt like sort of could control in terms of like that it was based on my own effort, and what other people do is not under my control, so I wasn't really...
But if it was, pretty much what happened would have been if you could have controlled it.
I mean, I remember when we were lining up, they were like, well, Lisa needs other people to get this in this position, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen anyways. And I was just focused on my race and just trying to get the best out of myself, and somehow it was good enough to win, yeah.
And so focusing on your race, there was a suggestion maybe Beth had a bit of a foot problem, perhaps. I mean, Cassandra obviously didn't have her best day at all, but there was no sense coming in here that you had of anything up in any of the other camps. You're just in your world, you're with your mum, you're doing your thing, right? And that's...
Yeah, as I said, like I just tried to prepare it as good as possible. Like I did a lot of races this year, and I gained a lot of experience of like what I need to do to prepare and what I need to avoid also to do well in the races. And I just really focused every day on doing that, and didn't really get caught up in anything else. And it also helped that I really like this venue. Like before I was a bit like, wow, Australia's like so far away, and the jet lag and the flight and end of the season and la 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 la. Like I had a lot of, I don't want to say negative thoughts, but I saw a lot of like challenges with this race. And then I came here and it was just super nice and super relaxed, and I really enjoyed it. So I already had like a great week when I came here, and now this is like really, well, I'm not sure if I can call it a cherry on top, but...
That's a pretty big cherry.
Yeah.
That's a whopping cherry. All right, can we dive into the race then?
Yeah.
And waking up, the wind just picked up, and it was directly into the harbour, which very rarely happens apparently, but that brought chop. I mean, it changed the course, but it even brought a huge amount of chop into that harbour. Worry you not really caring too much?
Well, I was a bit worried, to be honest, because last year the chop cost me at the grand final, like really, like I missed the group, and so I was like, I don't want this to happen again. But as many people know by now, I really worked hard on my swim this year, and I told myself that I can swim fast, and then I practiced this, and that's exactly what I trained for. And now, like, it's a skill I developed, and now I need to pull it out and like perform, and that I'm capable to do it. And I mean, you never know, but when it worked, I was like, whoa, yeah. Okay, I guess I can do this now.
Did you get a sense of, at the start, we were talking to Glenn Palunas, like he was wary that Cass was sort of drifting off course at the start. Was sighting obviously was presumably made quite difficult by the chop, but were you happy with that first gun to the buoy, and how were the noises machine around the buoy with you? Too long ago.
Yeah, so much has happened since then, I don't know. To be honest, I cannot really remember what happened. I just was in the moment and tried to make decisions in the moment, and I think I was on Cassandra's, I know I was on Cassandra's feet, and I think I was second around the first buoy, which was exactly the position I wanted to be in, and I always check left and right, and it was always us, like it was Cassandra in front of me and I was second, and I was like, okay, this is exactly where I want to be. I don't need to do anything else now. I just gonna stay here and focus on staying near the front. And I feel like it's always made a lot easier if you get around the first buoy near the front. Then you don't need to do anything, and you are kind of a little bit in control, and people need to get around you and you can decide what you're gonna do and you're not chasing. So I was like, okay, that's already quite a nice setup. Yeah.
Doing what you can do to make what is an incredibly difficult thing that little bit easier. Same with transitions, right? If you can dial those in, which you have done pretty much all season, then that just helps give you momentum into the bike in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, transitions are another thing that are pretty much under your control if you practice it. So I think in triathlon there are enough uncontrollables. You don't need to add anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I prefer transitions to go smoothly.
And the 7 climbs, that long stretch, yeah, they must have taken a hefty toll as well, did they? Or
on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, I was in Kalarivari and I was in Way High last year, so I had other races where they added hills in there too, and everyone needs to get up those hills. It's not like they're only there for me. So, I mean, they're hard, but they're hard for everyone, so I just go.
And Emma goes off the front, and nobody really seemed too worried about that in some ways. You know, what was your thought process when you saw her go?
Well, I did calculate out the points in advance.
Okay. Presence of mind.
And I was like, there's no point in chasing. Like, if I want to get my podium, like my best shot is to stay safe in the group. And I was actually thinking it would be more between Beth and Cassandra today, and not about me, to be honest. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and get third here. And so I tactically didn't see the need to change or burn any matches there. It just didn't.
And then I think you were like in third coming out of the second transition, and
could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Cass had lost a little bit of ground there, but I suppose as that played out, presumably you weren't thinking, right, it's going to be me and Bianca Siregni side by side over the closing stages.
No, I was telling myself that I need to be patient, and I think it has happened before that other people, like, that people didn't come out first and then they ran really well. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm out of transition first and now I'm going to win. Like, it has happened plenty of times that I was out of transition first and then I was really bad at the end. So it's just about like getting a little second here and getting a little second there, and maybe sometimes it adds up in the end. I feel like there are plenty of times too where it just didn't matter at all, but sometimes it does matter. So yeah.
And at no point in that 10K, I guess, were you taking anything for granted, given what was going on around you and the fact that it's the grand final. And
no, to be honest, not. I was just.
There were moments where you looked in kind of perfect control, and then were moments where you looked like this was really, really hurting, and presumably it hurts the most when you know, like, you've just got to push it, and the world title's yours.
I just followed my instincts during the run. I wasn't really thinking about that it was hurting. I guess when you're like fighting for the world title, like your head kind of turns it off, I guess. But
at which part of this course were you like, yes, this is it, chunk, it's in the pocket?
I never try to think that until the line, because until then everything can still happen. I was starting to think that it could end well when Bianca made her move and I could follow and no one else followed. Then I was like, okay.
So it was Bianca that hit the gas first of the group?
Well,
in
some way I feel like it just slowly fell apart. And I think then we were 3 or 4, and then Bianca made a move, and then I was the only one who could follow, and then I made my own move. So yeah.
And now world champ, and picking back across a season of 8, not 10, that's next year, 8 hard races, a long
Yeah.
season. You started with that win, which must have kind of put you into a very ambitious planning mood, and then some highs and lows. Just quickly, you were very honest about the post-Fréjus fallout. Come on, give us the takeaway again.
Well, I wasn't happy with my Fréjus race. I had trained well all summer, and it just really felt like it didn't reflect where I was at. And I admit, like, I'm not used to like not performing up. Like, if I had bad training or other problems, like, I would have been fine. Like, things happen, but everything went well, and I still didn't perform, and I had to do some searching as to what the causes were. But then, yeah, in Kalavivari and Weihai, I feel like I got back to where I feel like I was actually at, like that reflected it more, and I was like, okay, maybe it's worth now to go to Australia.
And your mum's over there. You've become quite the dynamic duo out there over the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, we started to work well together. She's really supporting me, and we're learning what I need and how we can,
Big things ahead.
Yeah.
Big things ahead. Lisa Tertsch, world champion. Thanks for
Thank
your
you
time.
very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.